200 divided by 1,000, then times the 1,000. So it's going to be 200 divided by 1,000, then times 100. So it means the current VG. What's going to be the current VG? The current value of the business. It's going to be VE plus your VD. So I get this plus this. I get the current value of this business. I don't know how this one has come out. Now, if we put in, already have a VG, the current value of this business. Now, what will be, I already have a VG, I have the current value of the debt, and I have the tax rate. I can be able to substitute here to get my VG. So VG will be equal to, VG already have it now, which is, if I substitute 695 equal to VU, I don't know it, plus, and the first question is asking us, I'm not even answering the question. Determine the optimal value of the firm under Modiglian. I think this one is clear. This is the current optimal value. That's why it is even 2 marks. That's the current value under Modiglian and the mirror.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, please.
I'm not understanding the way you are getting the value of equity. Would you please help me to understand that?
Okay. What's the current price of equity? 950. If you tunachumvika now, that's the current price. Seriously?
Yes.
What is our current share capital in the statement? Is 500. Isn't it?
I got you, sir. I got you.
And the per value is 1,000. You got me now?
Yes. Thank you.
Okay. Felix, all the people have entered. Are they customers? I'm seeing the number is high. Oh, they are not customers.
Let me check.
Hector.
Huh?
I'm confused about the question is asking optimal value of the firm.
Which is the VG.
For me, I think this is the value of the firm, but they are asking optimal value where I think we have the minimum.
Okay, we need to. That's the current value. Now the optimal value. So our VG. So we need to get the VU by getting 695 as the current value. But I don't think it is going to be different. 695, because that is the current value. 695. Oh, am I the one making a mistake? Equal to VU plus 220. Mister, are you not going to go back to the same question? That's the optimal value as per this one. Because this is already the GRD business. Because when you calculate this, it's going to take you back to the same thing, times 30%. So if you get this one can only help you to get the the value of ungeared. And when you get the value of ungeared, you are going to go back to get the same value. Maybe you can look at it. So what is the VU in this case? But in that case, we are not answering the question. VU is what? Members, don't take time because we don't have. We need to cover investment today.
629,000.
629,000. So even if you go back, if you get this plus the debt tax sheet, you are going back to this. So this one is only going to help us to compute part 2 of the question. But part 1 of the question should be answered in this. That's part 1. Then if you look at part 2, they want us to look at the effect of issuing additional.
Excuse me. The reason why I'm asking this question, last time we said that the optimal value, it is where the firm has the minimum water.
That is tradition. We are in Modiglian. Isn't it? The other
Yes,
part,
even last time
we are no. The optimal value as per Modiglian is as per the Modiglian and the mirror with tax is VU plus the debt tax sheet. So if you are going into the tradition, that's where you're going to look at where you minimize the cost. You minimize the wachacha. So how are you going to get the effect of issuing? That's the part 2. Effect of issuing additional debt. So now, what is our additional debt? If I'm looking at the data, what do you have as additional debt? Additional debt?
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, please.
Maybe somewhere I'm stuck. I wanted to know where did we apply that formula VG, VU plus debt spirit? How did we apply in that part A?
This one, VU, we did not need this. We are only going to use this in part 2. Reka tubanze tumvikane. Maybe nije ndi kuinterpretinga nabi question. Reka tubanze tuyumve neza. Siyose? Turi kushaka value, the optimal value of the business as per Modiglian and the mirror. And what is the optimal value of the business as per Modiglian and the mirror? The optimal value of the business as per Modiglian and the mirror is VU plus the debt tax sheet. Please, can you mute a bit? Can you mute a bit? The optimal value of the business as per Modiglian and the mirror is VU plus the debt tax sheet. That's the optimal value of the business as per Modiglian and the mirror. Now, what we are having here, basing on the data we have, if you go back to our data, if you check our data, we are looking at this. This is our ordinary share capital. This is the debt, irredeemable. Automatically, by having a debt in this business is geared. It is a geared business because we have a debt. But down here, we have been given other relevant information. But we are cost of ungeared. They have given us the price of the share, the current price of the share, which is 950 per share. Now, what is the current value of equity? Because this 1,000 is per value. What's the current value of equity? And that current value of equity is a current value of equity of a geared business, because this business is geared. It's not ungeared. It's a current value of equity of a geared business. Kwa tufitemu debt muri capital structure. Turafata number of shares, current market price. That's what we have done here. Number of shares times the current market price. We got this. That's the current market, the current value of equity. What is the current value of the debt? Number of debts times the market price. We got the current value of the debt. Now, once you have the current value of the debt, what is the value of a geared business in this case? Because this value is already, it's already geared, it's not ungeared, it's already a geared business. So if I get this, I get it, the value, so it means I'm going to get the value of equity, which is geared, plus the value of debt. Then I get the value of a geared business. If I want to get the value of ungeared, this one we are only going to use. That's why here, it is only 2 marks. If you look at the answer here, it's only 2 marks. It's not too much. It doesn't require a lot of working. Now, if I want to get, if you get this one, if, for example, I get 6, if I want to get the value of a geared using the other two addition, it will be 629 plus, if I put 220 times 30%, don't you go back to this, to 695?
It's the same sum.
You go back to 695.
Yes.
So it means the current value of a geared business, which is the optimal value, is this amount.
So I think I want you just to clarify more how this approach is different from the one we have used the last session with the
Multigrind?
Optimal value of the business.
Huh?
Yes.
In the last approach, you were given the business was ungeared. So you had a VU, a business which was ungeared, and you introduce a debt. In that case, you are going to use this method. Can we look at part 2? Probably it's going to make a sense if we apply part 2 of the question. In that case, we are going to use this one in part 2.
Understood, sir.
So if we look at our additional debt in the question is 100 million. Is 100 million. That's the additional debt. What's the current debt? The current debt is 220. That's the current debt. Hey, this one I should reduce 3 zeros. Hope you will remember that. So what will be the total debt in issue? My total debt in issue. The total debt in issue will be the new debt we want to issue, which is 100, plus the current debt that you have in the business. So I'm going to have 320. That's going to be the current debt. Now, the question you want us to find out the effect of issuing this new debt on our current value, which is this. And what? Current value and equity, maybe you can also, and on value of equity. Show the effect of issuing additional debenture on the value of equity. So maybe from here, already we have our current value of equity, which is 475. That's the current value of equity. What is the effect of issuing this debt on value of equity? Now, my first part, I need to get, after issuing this new debt, what is going to be the optimal value of the business? The optimal value, which is going to be our VG, will be the value of ungeared. I've already calculated it, 629. That's going to be the value of ungeared business. Plus, the new debt is now 320 times our 30%.
Excuse me.
Yes, please.
Is that ungeared or geared? 629.
629 is ungeared, is what we have got here.
The optimal value of geared business
Is the geared business is 695, and geared is 629.
ubundi byose ntabwo bitondo ariya dukoresha nibwo dushyushye gusa
Si byose?
nibyo.
This one. What do you get as the optimal value after issuing additional debt? Members, you are delaying to give me answers.
725.
725. 725. So that's going to be the value after issuing additional debt. Now, what is the current value of equity now after issuing this additional debt? VE is going to be equal to VG minus VD, which will be 725 minus the current value of the debt is 320. You get what?
You get 405.
405. Now, can you tell me now the effect? If we look at this, because the question is asking us the effect. Look at this. Look at this. So what's the effect of issuing additional debt on your value of equity?
The value of equity is decreased.
is it decreasing by, is it by 70 million?
Yes.
The value of equity will decrease by 70 million. That's the answer for that part. Now, if you go to part 3 of this question, show the effect of issuing additional debt on weighted average cost of capital. Part 3. Effect of issuing additional debt on Wachacha. Now, when you are attempting this, you are going to look at...
Excuse me. When you
Yes.
say the value of equity, you mean the value of an GED?
That is the GED equity.
Sorry?
The value of GED equity.
Okay.
Yes. Now, part 3 of the question, we are looking at the effect of issuing additional debt on Wachacha. Now, what you need to do in this, you are going to get what is the Wachacha before additional debt. What is your Wachacha before the additional debt? What is the Wachacha before issuing additional debt? So, from here, we have the data already. We have the data, which we have already calculated. We have our VE, value of equity, or I can copy these ones. They have a lot of things. We have 475, which is VE. That's the value. 475 as the VE, and we have VD, which is 220. Isn't it? 220 is the VE. And we have KU, which is 14%. And we have our KD. What did they say? We have the interest on redeemable debt, which is 14%, 10%. So it's going to be, our KD will be 10% into 10% times 1,000, isn't it? Into 1 minus 0.3. I've not put the formula, divided by 1. What do you get? Oh, we can leave tax because, sorry, since in the formula there is tax, we can leave this one first. Let's take 10%. Since in the formula we have tax, let's take this one is a pre-tax. KD, but pre-tax. Maybe we shall, since we have tax in the formula, let's take the KD, which is pre-tax. Now, if you are attempting this again, we have a KU, we have a KD, which is pre-tax. Automatically here, you need the KE, the cost of equity. You need the KE of a GRD business. KE of a GRD business. And how are you going to get the KE of a GRD business? In this case, you're going to apply the multigram and the mirror. KE, which is KU plus KU minus KD into 1 minus T D divided by E. Twageze twese hano se?
Yego.
We need the cost of equity of a GRD business. And basing on the data we have, how can we get the cost of equity of a GRD business? Automatically, you're going to apply Modigliani and the mirror theory. So if you're applying Modigliani and the mirror theory, our KE is going to be 0.14 plus, make your calculator bit fast, 0.14 minus 0.1 1 minus 0.3 times 220 divided by 475.
15.3%.
15.3%. That's the cost of equity of GRD business. And whenever you are calculating, just know that the cost of equity of a GRD business must be above the cost of an GRD. If you put the calculation and it's not above, just know that there is something wrong in your calculation. So what is our post-tax cost of debt? Post-tax cost of debt, our KD. As we said, we are going to get 10%. 10% times 1,000 to get the interest, isn't it? Into 1 minus 0.3. Then I divide by 1. Give me the answer.
$6.4.
6.4. 6.4%. So now we can now compute our wachacha. So our source, we have the market value, we have the weight, we have the cost, we have the wachacha. Our source, we have the equity, which is the market value is 475. I think even if I don't copy it up, so 475. We have debt. Market value is 220. So total here I have, that's the total. So what's the weight? I get this divided by this. I get this divided by this. The cost here, we have got 0.153. That's the cost. 0.064. So then I can multiply this times this. So I think when you add, you are getting, so your wachacha will be 0.5%. Comrades,